What about this other part? Because we've noticed, because time and again, we always ask about the question of continuity. When the new government comes in, they seem to jettison almost everything and start afresh. But in this case, it doesn't appear to be exactly the same thing. We've seen certain projects where he says, okay, I will continue from where they left off. Take, for instance, power. The Mambila says, okay, but I'll continue that and finish it. And some other areas like that. So isn't that part of, doesn't that justify why they say, okay, well, look, I want to study and be sure of what I have seen, see where I can continue and where I think not, like the NNPC.
No, it makes absolute sense. What you say makes absolute sense. There is no, we must definitely have a sense of continuity. But let me give you an instance. The NPC has a lot of people that were the technocrats in the Obasanjo regime. And I'm still using the guy, these are the guys who crafted, what's his name, the article is there. These are people that really set the economic agenda of the Obasanjo regime. And the point I'm making here is that there is no way those guys will be there and they will come and say, we are going off power, like what happened during the Yar'Adua, years. When he went to Katina and brought somebody that wasn't part of the economic team and who didn't understand the first things about power, and he came in and he said, stop everything. And when he stopped everything, we just like, it was as if Nigeria went on reverse. That shouldn't be the case here. These guys have been on the wings waiting for this. So, and waiting on the wings means that you have your people, you have ideas where this
It also means that, well, it gives you benefit of, and hindsight, sitting back and watching from another perspective. So what you're saying is that by now they should have had their templates and hit the ground running.
I totally agree with, let me extend it. And I know the hitting the ground running is now almost like a cliche.
It is.
But the truth of the matter, yes, but the truth of the matter is that there are things that, one of the things they used in rating the governors was preparedness for the position. Those guys who did the thing yesterday, one of the things was the preparedness, and they judged that by the actions you took immediately you were sworn in, which means you didn't just think about them, you must have thought about them. Okay, so I agree with you that one would have expected that by now there was some in setting up the economic management thing, you will have infused them with the people that could serve as a pivot, who can set the agenda, economic agenda, albeit, of this administration, so that the international community, the business community, can have a sense of where you are headed and what will drive your policy.
Before we move on to the next
because things are beginning to look not southward, not because there's no hope. I have absolute confidence.
But the thing is
that
this:
what the president brings on the table is integrity.
But they also know that Nigerians all have their manifesto, and what they packed in there, they know that if they waste time, they've got 4 years to deliver on those things they talked about. Yeah. 5,000 megawatts on a yearly basis, 40,000 in 8 years if they continue in that light. Then you've also got the part of community policing, state policing. It's in their manifesto. You also have the part that they said, look, we'll ensure, I think, social security for Nigerians. All those are not just things that are off the shelf. You have to be sure that those policies can work. So don't you think they know that, look, the more time goes away, the tougher it is?
It should be natural to think that way. But I can tell you, you're also dealing with politicians. You're also dealing with politicians. They speak in the morning, and by evening, they will begin to explain to you as though you didn't hear what they wanted to say to you.
So the
point I'm making, and I'm glad, Jopelin, that you're reeling these things out. That should be the agenda. Holding these guys accountable. But I don't care whether you're PWD or PDP or APC. We must hold you accountable. These things must be on the plates. Every time you see them, you must ask them, where is this? What is this? Nigerians forget a lot. Yeah, and we must be the people that keep reminding them that, listen, how are you going to, knowing fully well what it means to generate power, 1 megawatt of power. You know what it takes. You know the months it takes. By media now they said, power is not an easy thing to do. You have to buy and all that. As if they didn't know from day one. So that's the point I'm making. The point I'm making here is that there are certain things that are constitutional that they will need to tweak. They will need to send executive bills to be able to do. Example is the solid minerals. Certain things that are in the ground in some of the northern states can't be extracted by those governors.
There's
until the laws are changed. The railway can't work until it's been changed.
One quick one here. Some of the things that the governors might need to do.
Some of them are administrative. So.
Administrative, for instance, like shutting out everything from outside and beginning to use the things you have within your state. Would that help in any way?
Thank you, sir. I have suggested before that there must be a way.
Without even talking about mining. Talking about things within your state.
Politicians hate this kind of talk. Let us move our FAC account away from every state and put it away.
They've not paid salaries. You want them to move the one that they're managing?
You'll be shocked that we pay salaries. And use it for infrastructural development. Nobody touches it. If you are a state and you can't survive, collapse it. In the days of Egypt, they say if your family was small, you married with another state for deliverance. People are asking for new states to come in when some states can pay. No, Kingsley Chamberlain, this narration must come. Because if you play politics the way we have continued to play it, we will, it's another definition for insanity. Doing the same thing and expecting a different result.
On this other matter, so that we squeeze it in. This report will set the scene for us. So let's take a quick look.
February 2014, the registration of the bank verification number was launched under the leadership of the former central bank governor Lamido Sanusi. The move is geared towards strengthening the security of banking transactions and stamping out fraudulent activities in financial institutions. Tuesday, the 30th of June 2015, is given as the deadline for customers to obtain an 11-digit unique number for transactions. It's a last-minute rush, a usual sight in the country. Customers throng to their banks to beat the over 1-year-old notification. In Kaduna State, Northwest region, customers say poor internet network and insufficient bank officials are slowing down the process of registration, while others say they are unaware of the process and even the deadline.
Since last week we have been coming here and nothing has been happening. Even for you to collect the form, after you finish collecting the form, you fill it to bring it to submit it, it became a problem.
I suggest that the government should help us, the CBN, they should add more days or more months so that we can be able to do it, because there is no way somebody can see his money being frozen because of the BVN has not been verified or been done.
The call for the extension of the bank verification is re-echoed also in Ogun State in the southwest.
Don't worry, you get the full reports in the subsequent news bulletins. That's a brief version of that story. But the bottom line is many are saying, look, this BVN, the bank verification number, they think there's a challenge. A big question is, look, you know how it always happens. While the bank committee says, no extension, many also think that, no, come on, you can't say that. Over 14 million people will be shut out. What do you think should happen? Extension or no, that's it?
No, they shouldn't extend. They shouldn't extend. But they can go hand in hand. And what I mean by that is, and I think the guy who's in charge of communication, the CBN, has said as much, that, you will have access to your account, but you will not enjoy the services. Because what I
thought they said if you don't have the BVN number, you cannot transact.
No, you can't. You will not have maybe internet banking, a couple of things. But because I'm just wondering whether it's really legal for you to hold somebody's money because he didn't.
Because there'll be a lot of looks like there'll be a lot of court cases.
If it wasn't part of the reason why the accounts were open.
No, that's smarter than that.
Okay.
That's smarter than that. I don't think they will be that. They know. They are smart, so they know what to do. What they will just do is to ask you, as you come in, we'll stop you from having certain services which are not binding.
But not stop you from having your money.
No, I doubt if they will stop you from having your money, because it just does not make sense. Then, of course, they will spend all the money, what time they would have in the courts. But people need to know what this is about, this BVN thing. And I've always told bank people that, you need to innovate the system before the regulators innovate it. And that's what is going on. And I'm looking forward to the day where you will use one bank account and then you can port. You can port. You can move from Standard Chartered Bank to Diamond Bank to First Bank.
You pay for the services.
In one account. Now, you know, people don't understand how the society grows. It's you know, when the MTN people came, they said there was nothing like per second billing. Glo came in and said, listen, bros, there's the per second billing. Everybody has upgraded. And that's what it is. In Kenya, the people that turned around banking the way we know it today, and by the way, Kenya is the world leader on mobile payment. World, I don't say Africa. It was a telecommunication company, Safaricom. And what is happening is that any time the practitioners innovate the system, they take full benefit of it. But when the regulator innovates the system, they will use it to regulate. So, the people need to know that the BVN is just for critical, to identify you to your biometrics.
But why would a private company be seeking to get fingerprints of individual citizens?
No, a bank.
No, why is it necessary? I mean, this database that they're collecting now, INEC has this database. They have so many databases.
No, apart from the fingerprints and the data and all those, but I'm surprised that they didn't even take the iris. Is to ensure, there is a lot.
What they are doing is facial capture, not iris capture.
No, they're not doing iris capture. I'm sure I can tell you they're not doing iris capture. I'm sure next tomorrow they will come and say, come back, let's do iris capture. Because things are not just thought through. Now the point I'm making here is that these data are for the purpose of, knowing people. There's a lot of fraud. People change names, do all manners of things, and they get away with it.
Pardon, let me jump in and bring this one. He says to ask you, because they also spoke about it in that report, customers in Nigeria who are living outside the country. What happens to them if this BVN, there's no extension?
No, let me explain myself. I didn't say there should be an extension because of that. I don't want the extension. Because that's the way things, if you extend it again, you will still have the same issue. People always wait for the last minute. So I'm saying, while you are asking people, as people come in to register, you use services to hold them. Okay? But instead of just saying you push it there another 1 month, people will wait again. This surge you see will cease and then appear again 2 days to the last deadline. So I'm saying that people should be able to go to the banks, do it. As you do it, they release those services to you. People outside is a challenge. I don't know how they want to get about it.
There are many questions about this one. The same thing we heard about the NIMC, how another private company in charge, handling a lot of data about Nigerians. And so many questions unanswered about this one. And that's why I would say it's a big question, which we'll also focus on subsequently. But thank you, Pascal Udibo, for joining us today. Business and policy consultant.
You got it there.
I also left out that Jeffrey and
Jeff O'Brien
part. Thank you for coming on. Well, that's the show today. Thank you for watching, as always. We'll see you next time. I'm Chamberlain Oso.
And I'm Neil Taigbe.
Many thanks. I'm Sulaiman Alede. See you again.